Well, fangirls were screaming over this episode. Probably. Hello everyone, and welcome to Love Stage Episode 3 review. Yeah. So before I get into the nitty gritty, I'll just start with the basics. Um Now let me just explain for a moment. Episode 1 and episode 2, episode 1 I know what genre I was getting into, obviously, so I was like, oh okay, how's this gonna go about? And then we didn't see any signs of Izumi and Ryōma, I think I'm saying his name right, going for the Yuri genre, so to speak, because like Izumi wasn't like that, and neither was Ryōma. I think it's had an entirely different name. And then what was I've lost my train of thought. And then in episode 2, obviously, Ryōma was shown that Izumi isn't a girl. So yeah, and he finds out that he was obviously manipulated, but obviously not intentionally. I mean, like, Izumi does look like a girl in in girl's clothes now that he's older, but as a young lad, looks like a girl even with boys' clothes. But yeah, so going into this episode, like, I was thinking, hang on, like, how are they gonna do this? Like, what? I know what genre it is, so like, I was like, this will be interesting to see how it goes about. So we go into the episode, and Izumi finds out that he has Ray tells Izumi that like, what's this? Izumi's like, oh god, it's the marble. It's like, oh, what should I do? Will you apologize to me, Rai? And then Rai's like, no, you gotta find, you gotta go on the path of adulthood and apologize. And he's like, find a new marble and look guilt free. The adulthood is full of lies and deceit. Well, actually, that's the entire world, whether you're in adulthood or not. But regardless, that was hilarious. Now going into the romance part, Ryōma, I think I said an entirely different name again, was having a dream about Izumi, but as little girl Izumi, then going into older girl Izumi with the wedding dress on, and then, wind, and then elephants are coming in. Yeah, I was laughing, not gonna lie. But yeah, I do apologise for the awkwardness. Well, not really awkward, but I didn't expect something like this to happen in this episode so early on. Well, in fact, I didn't. Well, actually. There was one in the first one. What was it? The series before Judo Romantica, or it's the series I'm on about, the one with Takehiro's brother first meeting Usagi, going into his house, and then, now, sorry for the segue, but back to the review itself. Ryōma is having these dreams, and it's affecting him, and on stage, when he was on the set for acting, there was a little girl, and I was like, pink, the same hairstyle as little girl who's Izumi. I wonder if he's going to see something of him in her. And he did. So yeah, problems being caused, and I suppose you could say it was, is the term sexual preference? Or sexuality? I'm just, for not diplomatic, for my sake of my stupidity, and I think that I'm being right, he was questioning the sexual preference. Because of the dream and the 10 years of affection he had for I'm just going to say him, but we obviously know that He thought him was a her. For him, for 10 years, and he's just like, oh, 10 years of affection can't just go away like that. So he goes to his house, unannounced, he's not there, and Rai's just like, oh my god, what's going on? And he warns Izumi, come home, gotta give him the marble back, and then we find out that the marble, like the backstory to it, like belonging to his grandmother, was a lie. I was actually quite surprised by that. Wasn't really expecting it to be a lie. But then again, his personality was a lie, so I shouldn't be too surprised. But regardless, yeah, seeing Izumi as he normally looks, he was just like confused, like, oh, I hear his voice, but where is he? And then he's just like, it's me. And then he's just like shocked, like calling him a dweeby kid. I was gonna say newbie then, I don't know why. Dweeby kid. And then takes the glasses off, and then he's blushing. And is like, oh my god. But he's to elude his affection for him, to prove that everything was just an illusion. Yeah. Should I say forcefully? At the most part, it was a joke. Before, let me just continue. How should I say it? I hope no one's hearing this. Oh. Right. He asked him to strip. Izumi was like, what? It went into a comedy factor with Izumi running across the floor, like going, panning out of the screen from one end and then coming back, and then he's like missing a few pieces of the clothing, and then did it again, and it was in his boxers and top. I do hope no one can hear this. Fangirl screaming, you already know where I'm going with this. So yes, to cut a long story short, he gets onto the couch somehow, don't even know how we got him on there. And then Izumi is petrified. Petrified? Well, it was reduced to tears. And yeah, it escalated from there. And oh my god, sucking his tears away from his eyelids. I was just like, the fuck. And then it was censored, obviously, before you perverted. People think, yeah. Well, can you really call that censored? It was like nothing was shown. It was like all colours. The only well, I've forgotten the scene already. But let's just move on from that. Shugo comes in, stop him before anything escalates any further. And yeah, Ryōma, I'm saying his name differently, wakes up thinking it's a dream and then feels the lump on his head that he got from the punch from Shugo, or Shoga. I'm going to say Shugo. Probably wrong. It begins with an SH. And then it just pans from waking up and dreaming, and he wished it was a dream, but it did actually happen. And yeah, Shugo wants revenge for what he did to his brother, and then Rai's just like, no, you can't. Like, you're on. I think he was doing a singing thing with him, or something with Ryōma. Well, he was doing something with Ryōma. Shoga was, and then knowing that Rai was like, no, you can't do anything. And then when he got to set, he was like, I can't. I must get revenge for my brother. And then he comes in, Ryōma, and he looks deathly. I was like, oh my god, he's blushing. And then he said, Shogo Oni-sama, or something along those lines with Shogo Oni. And then Shogo was like, what? And he was just crying. So yeah, this is the he was crying, hugging, and then blah 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 blah. So yeah, next episode we will. It's probably going to be another sense of question, because this episode was questioning his sexual preference in itself, but this time knowing that he likes men, it will probably do something along those lines. But yeah, I'm gonna give this episode a Is this the first 8? I don't know. 8 out of 10. It was good. Very interesting. I mean, this episode was basically the spark for the genre type. But yeah, I've only seen 2 Yaos, and this is the first time a dream has been um, induced, so to speak. Or, well, something like this, like, seeing the same person to dispel the illusion. But anyway, 8 out of 10. Good watch. Fangirls, this will be something strong for you. But yeah, was it awkward for me? Slightly. I mean, it got awkward as soon as he started to suck his tears from his eye, from his face, and I was just like, oh god. But yeah, 8 out of 10. Good watch. Yeah. See you next week. Good day.